Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 48th show of TLR Show. TLR is a niche coaching, training, mentoring service provider based out of Pune, India, with chapters in Bhutan, Oman, Nepal, Sri Lanka, USA, and expanding all across the world. My name is Deepika Kapoor, and I'm a soft skills trainer, personality development, and a grooming trainer based out of Trivandrum, the capital city of Kerala. Well, I'm one of the rare Punjabi Kapoors to have been settled down in the God's own country. And as far as my professional endeavors go, I've been an instructional trainer at British Council, Trinity, Guild Program pioneered by Trinity College London, and Scholastic Asia. Today, I'm very excited to bring to you Kidspreneur. It's a business school for kids with a very special guest, Mohanalakshmi. Mona is an alumni of Harvard and the founder and CEO of Kidspreneur, which is a very innovative academy that runs experiential learning programs in the tech entrepreneurship for children. Mona, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
We would like to introduce you to us and tell us a little about yourself, how Mona is in her personal life, and what are her dreams, what was the inspiration behind Kidspreneur, and what was your childhood like?
Okay.
Yes, Mona.
So thank you so much for this wonderful show, and thanks for the invite. First of all, I'm really happy and honored to be part of this TLR show, and to talk about our Kidspreneur. It is a very adventurous journey for us, and it is something I love to do, and this is something keep us going. So when we say Kidspreneur, we help, and we are the Asia's first entrepreneurial education provider for 7 to 18 years. We actually start from 7 to 18, but we also have kids who's 5.5, and 6 who are like super cool, and we take them on custom admission based. Like when we see a bright kid with a cool idea and coming and saying, "Auntie, I have this idea. I want to be a kidspreneur." I'll be like, "Wow, why not?" So that's how it happens. So for us, every day we work with children and shaping their future, and giving them the space for them to experiment the idea which is coming to their mind, whether it is big or small. I always tell them, and at Kidspreneur we have this term called every idea worth a million, and every idea worth trying. So our kids, whether it's a small idea, big idea, exciting, and they just will come to me and say, I'm thinking of doing this. What do you say? I always say, yes, do it. Well, okay, let me help. And also, not only me, everybody at Kidspreneur, all the kids also, if one kids propose an idea, rest of them will join together, start brainstorming. Hey, you can add this. I've seen here, I've experienced here. Why not this, that? So this is something like a very lively environment for us. And yes, we would definitely say after COVID, this live interaction become virtual interaction, but still it is more exciting because the borders have been vanished after COVID and everything went virtual. And so all our kids are able to interact with kids from across the world, kids from Philippines, Singapore, US, Canada, Bangladesh. So everybody is able to come to a same platform and discuss. Again, like when we see kids from different countries, everybody has an exciting idea. And one kid talks about this idea from a situation, because also at Kidspreneur we tell them, no, we have this. So you have an idea. That idea should be solving somebody's problem. So that's how entrepreneurship is, right? So when there's a problem, somebody comes up with a solution, he becomes an entrepreneur, and his entrepreneurial journey starts there. So that is what makes us going. So as a founder and CEO of Kidspreneur, and it has been an 8-year journey with Kidspreneur. And in 2012, this whole idea started as a research in Singapore, and 2012 to 14, it is more like research and developing the curriculum in association with Singapore Ministry of Education. So after 2014 to 16, more on the working and tweaking, improvising the modules, because we developed on the whole 153 modules to cater to the next 10 years down the line. However the situation is going to be, how the curriculums are going to be, and how the kids should be prepared for the future. Because we say the kids who is entering the schools today will have jobs that doesn't even exist today, right? Like when we were kids, when our school teachers asked what do you want to be, hardly we would say teacher, lawyer, or bank manager or engineer. So these are the opportunities we had. But today if you ask me what you do and what I do, we are all in a very new world. The same story for our children as well. So the kids who's entering the school today will have a very new challenge coming for them. Are we equipping them for that challenge? So that is what Kidspreneur does. So in our education system and the real world, we have a huge gap, be it Indian education system, be it no education from a different country. We are not equipping because it is uncertain. The future is going to be uncertain. We don't know what is going to be, and we can't 100% prepare them. But if we can give them the right tools and techniques and the practice to face anything and use any opportunity towards them, that's going to be exciting. And that's what pretty much Kidspreneur do. And I think in the upcoming questions I can share more about it. And yeah, that's how the journey started. And 2017 is where we moved back to India, and we started our journey as Kidspreneur with the brand here. And it's been 3 successful years. And what to say, within this 3 years in India, we were able to produce 1,500 plus kids who was running their own businesses. Running their own businesses. Yeah.
Fantastic.
We also have a program called Kidspreneur EDU, which is a program delivered at school. So entrepreneurial program delivered at school. So with that, we crossed about 15,000 students so far, and we are counting more. Yes, right now Kidspreneur has spread our wings in about 12 countries at the moment, and we are expanding more. COVID has given us a very positive opportunities, and we also teach our kids seeking opportunities. We follow the same formula, and we are utilizing it and growing more. And yes, that's what pretty much.
More power to you, Mona. You're doing such an excellent job, actually, and it's a service to the humanity, I would say. But I would just like to add something over here, because I've myself been a trainer and a teacher all my life, and I've taught students of various nationalities, and later on I diversified to the field of training of soft skills, personality development, and grooming. So I train people from various ends of the spectrum with various cultural backgrounds. And with my experience and the values and the ethics and the discipline that got embedded in me, and the culture which was all around me of the armed forces, because I have been born and brought up in the armed forces. Okay. I realized that when I passed it on to my students and later on to the people whom I was training in my independent workshops in British Council and then Scholastic and Trinity, so on and so forth, I realized that teaching is a very noble profession, and kids are kids, actually. They're the greatest gift of God, and if given the right guidance and if given the right platform and if given the right mentoring and coaching, they are the future of the world, and we have a huge responsibility on our shoulders. And now that you're exposing them to the facets of financial management along and combined with discipline, ethics, I think that's a phenomenal combination. Nothing can beat that. That's so powerful. Great power to you, Mona. Just keep doing your great work that you're doing. I'm already enjoying conversing with you. So, Mona, let me just ask you another question. Where did you study? Can you tell us a little more in detail about it, about your entrepreneur skills, where you acquired it from? I know that you're a Harvard graduate and you have a lot of accomplishments under your belt. You're a very accomplished lady. So just throw some light on that also.
So my education journey is very adventurous because until I was completing my school, I'm a person who doesn't like to sit for 8 hours in school. I always like no because I'm not focused only on education. I wanted to be in everything, and I'm excited about everything, be it sports, be it extracurricular, be it culture, everything. So I'm not like, I would not say like I was no topper in school. I really don't want to be a topper. I was an average student, because when you're an average student, you have a lot of time for you to explore in many things. When you're a topper, you can only focus on one thing, and like no, because maybe now there's so many opportunities, but those days when you want to be a topper, you can only focus on that because there's no much exposure like internet, right? So it was very limited. So I wanted to take one step back and then like get as much as exposure as possible. And after completing my school, I did not join a regular college. So I did it through correspondence, and I started working as soon as I completed school. So from 18 to about 21, I was working, and I was completing my graduation. And I started in 18 as a my first job was like restaurant hostess, because I did my aviation and hospitality and tourism course, a diploma course. I saw in your profile also, you've also been teaching in Frankfinn, and I studied there. So that's where my journey started. So my first job was restaurant hostess, and from there, branding, event management, sales, marketing, key accounts. So at 21, I was a brand manager of an UK MNC, and that was the first accomplishment of mine.
I'm bonding with you already since we've got so much in common.
Yes.
And I'm really enjoying the thing actually. Though it's just started, but then it's really interesting actually to know your profile and what you've gone through life. And you've been at the various ends of the spectrum. First as a student, where you saw that the things that you wanted to bring in about in the education system, and when they were not there, it must have been disheartening. And now that you're living your dream and bringing about a change and manifesting your dream into reality and seeing the kind of difference that you're making in the lives of the children, must be a very satisfying experience. What do you think, Mona?
Truly, the satisfying, that is the word I would definitely say, because this is what I was looking for when I was in school and when I was studying. I always look out for something. I don't know what is that something means. I always converse with my mom and ask, "Ma'am, I'm looking for something. I really don't know what it is." Like when I was getting promotions in job, she's like, "Wow, that's good. You're already grown." No, this is not mine. I'm looking for something else. I couldn't find out. I'm still in search of it. So 21 is where I had a turning point in my life, where I met with an accident, as well as my family was looking for fixing a marriage alliance. So both happened at the same time. Yeah, of course, a traditional family, so you have to go with that. So both happened at the same time. So I have to take a decision. I thought, okay, I didn't do my undergraduation in correspondence, so why not pursue my higher studies in regular? And that, because it when you didn't get something, or when you missed out something, you always have that hunger in you, right? Like you wanted to see what it is, how college life will be.
Determination and the courage and the strength of mind which takes you forward. Because as they say that, our mind is into two parts. One is the feeling mind and the other is the thinking mind. The feeling mind is the unconscious mind and the thinking mind is the conscious mind. And the feeling mind is always more powerful than the thinking mind. Because when you feel confident and when you feel that you're capable of doing a lot of things, that is when things start to manifest.
True.
Don't you think so?
Definitely, because that's how the magic happens to me. Like every step I move forward, everybody I met, all my bosses, all my colleagues has been a biggest inspiration and given me a lot of motivation and compliments, and to move forward. They always appreciated what we do and said you can do better. So when somebody says you can do better, oh, I'm not this, I have something else to do. So I keep on searching for new things, and then that's how it was all started. And then I moved to complete to study my MBA in Singapore, and that's where this adventure happened. When I was doing my MBA, this was my idea. I submitted as a thesis for my MBA, and somehow from my university it went to Ministry of Education. I got a call. So they when I was a student, I'm in a student pass in a different country. So when you get a call from Ministry of Education, it's just something. Oh, did I do something wrong, or is there some query? That's how I went to Ministry of Education meeting, and then that turned out to be an opportunity for me. They said the thesis was looking really good, and you have so much of balanced experience and the exposure and the situation for the need for the situation. So would you like to develop, because we felt the framework really good, and that's where the journey started. That's where the excitement started. And then like they gave me a lot of mentors, professors from different countries, from different institutions to like work with. And it was a very exciting journey, because I love learning. Even today, if you ask me, I would be definitely doing 6 or 7 programs which to improve myself, to update myself. So I wanted to be a lifelong learner, and I am following that formula already. And
it never stops, actually.
Yeah,
never stops. The day it stops, you become stagnant. No?
Also, when you work with students, you have to be on top of it, right? Whether it is not like you have to know everything. At least you should know what it is in order to like converse with them, because they having so much of exposure, and everybody comes with like hundreds of questions, each kid, and you can't say wait, I'll get back to you, right? When a curious question comes, when the curiosity comes out, we have to give food to that curiosity, to the hunger. So you need to have something in your hand to talk to them, to converse, and to bring the curiosity to a platform where they can like experiment and like see.
And there's definitely a difference between knowledge and information. Information is available all on the internet, which is very unstructured. And knowledge is something that it's your domain, and you need to be very thorough about it as an educator. And that is when you disseminate and pass on the information, rather I would say knowledge, to the students to give them a better future.
So that's how it was going, and I always dreamt of going to Harvard. I wanted to go for my MBA to Harvard. It didn't happen, but I did my entrepreneurship research with Harvard, and I'm currently doing my PhD with them, and should be completing. It's supposed to be this year. Because of baby, I think I'm postponing it to next year. So let's see how
you've got all the grit and determination, and I'm sure you'll definitely make it.
Yes, definitely.
We have viewers and listeners from all over the world, and there's a question which is just popped up, that youth leadership and entrepreneurship today is definitely there, but what is the single most important thing that you feel is essential for the kids to learn and succeed in life? There's a lot of talk going on about
definitely, because when we say Kidspreneur itself, we're not teaching kids to earn money. We're not teaching them to run business. We are inculcating entrepreneurial mindset and skill set to them. So we have a framework called eSTEAM. So, and we have 11 entrepreneurial mindset, 10 entrepreneurial skill set, which has been authorized by Singapore Ministry of Education, and which has been accredited by many esteemed institutions from across the world. And that is what we do, in which a very important mindset I wanted to share with you for this question is failure, right? Redefining failure. Because when we and being an Indian parents, we never want our kids to be fail. Don't fail, don't fall. No, don't do that. Don't walk, you'll fall. So this attitude, not letting them experiment. I always tell my student, fail greatly. There's nothing wrong in it, right? So because what we teach them is the failure is something. It is when you fail, it is not you fail. When you fail, the process or the method you tried is what failed, right? So the hypothesis has been failed, not you. So try something else. Try a new way to come out of it. So there's no like no, if you fail, it is not like there's no next step. Okay, so we always tell them, okay, fail, no problem. Failure is a part and parcel of life. You have to fail in order to make it better.
Yeah.
Because when you fail in one thing only, you'll think, if you get success immediately, you'll be like, oh, I'm accomplished. That's what comes to your mind. And for kids, I always give them a continuous hurdles, so that they can go on top of it and then move forward. And that is something, learning failure is what redefining failure is what I feel a very important skill, not only for kids, mainly for the teenagers who just coming out of the college or like starting their careers. Because in last 3-4 years moved back to India, I've addressed about like 13,000 plus engineering students from across South India. I always felt they kind of missed out somewhere. There is a huge gap. They thought some engineering is something and they joined, and before they completing, they kind of left out. They're not able to connect. And when I ask them, are you an engineer, they'll be like, yeah, not really. No, we have that gap. Yeah. So this question I've literally asked so many, and it's just they have that gap to be filled. I think if that gap has to be bridged, it cannot be done through a professor or through an institution. It has to be done within you. You have to believe in yourself, and you have to equip yourself to call you as an engineer, right? It is not only from the books, it is to prepare you, right? Like today I say, like, I'm founder of Kidspreneur. It is not from the books I learned. It is not from the college institutions I learned. Because to be honest, I until my 10th grade, I studied in Tamil medium school, not even English medium. So 11th and 12th grade, I pushed myself to take English, and then that's how the journey has started. So when you want to equip yourself, and that's how the Frankfinn also happened, because I want to improve myself. So that's how things go. So you have to
you have in your mind. Yeah.
Yes. So mind and the mindset is what very important, and that's where we should like.
Training the mind is the most toughest thing in the world. It takes years and years to train the mind, but there's nothing that which cannot be achieved, and there's nothing that we cannot do. And if we put our minds to things, definitely we can achieve it.
As you rightly said, it takes years and years. No, as you rightly said, it takes years and years. That's why I wanted to start as early as possible. That's why we're starting at 5 and 7. So they have so many years to practice before they enter to the real world of real world. No, because until they are kids, they still have their parents' umbrella, right? For us today, if we fail,
absolutely. Yeah.
Yes. So they can experiment, try, fail, experiment, try, fail. So when you come, you know everything, kind of like you're prepared for anything, and you know how to handle that. So that is something I would definitely.
Yes, we need to inculcate that mindset in the students, and that's really very important. How to cope with the failures, and how to come up with it, and how to gain the strength and set a goal and not repeat the mistakes. Analyze, strategize once again, and never ever scale down your dreams.
True.
That's the biggest injustice that most of us do to ourselves. Why about kids? I mean, all around the world, even the grown-ups are doing that. Definitely. And I think we need to change that perspective and that mindset.
True.
Yeah? All right. Thank you so much.
Hope I answered the question.
All right. So let me just ask you this. With the creative mindset that you've had and the intellect that you've employed in running your Kidspreneur, there is definitely clarity and conviction, which I see in you. You're a very strong woman. So Mona, with this journey which emanates, it definitely shows from your personal experience. And I'm sure right now you must be feeling very satisfied. It must be a very warm and a warm feeling to see the kid that you brought up. And in fact, it's still in the nascent stages and growing up, of course. What kind of a feeling does that give you?
Okay, so when a kid comes to me, most of the kids comes with their own ideas. The first day itself, they say, "Ma'am, this is what I want to do." And most of them, like few calls me Mo, ma'am, few calls me Akka, few calls me auntie, and few calls me Miss Mona. So it's like this variety. So because I wanted to get bonded with them. So and the plus point for me is I still look like a no, I can actually say this. I still look like a school student, so I can easily mingle with them, and they accept me as one among them. So they share. No, I don't have that gap between them. No, normally a teacher or a mentor and a mentee will have that gap. That I don't have, personally with all of my students. So we get along more like friends. So we are able to experiment a lot of things very easily. So when a friend of mine is learning from me and like we are learning together, and my friend is standing in front of a big stage pitching his idea to an investor and getting that check, that's what makes me happy. And it happened many times. And so that's the kind of feeling. And when an investor who is like established, had great experience coming and telling you, I really like that kid, he is going to be the future. When you hear this comment, that is something you'll be like, yes, I'm done.
Accomplishment, don't you think so?
Yes.
That's the best feeling to have.
This
as a
happened.
teacher.
This particular comment has been given for a 7-year-old. So that is something we cherish in Kidspreneur. Like somebody is saying that this kid who's just 7-year-old standing on the stage in front of so big entrepreneurs, big giants who is like leading the industries, and like they coming and saying he has a clarity in his idea, he has a future. That's just where like even I don't know whether their parents felt this way, but I felt so much more. So that is something which keeps us going.
Really
And
amazing. That's so powerful. In fact, Mona, I still do keep getting these sweet mails and from my students and the people whom I've trained in my workshops, because I said that I diversified into the field of training and soft skills, personality development and grooming later on. So I conducted a lot of workshops at various forums. So when I get these messages of gratitude and probably that if I could make a difference in the lives of the students first, and of course people from the various spectrums of life in the trainings that are imparted at various forums, it's a very heartening feeling. It's a very fulfilling feeling, and I can completely agree with you on that. That resonates so much. So it's a very heartening feeling. So let me ask you another question. What about the kidspreneurship vision? What's the vision that you have in mind? What's the journey so far? What are the success stories? What are the top-notch kids who have done wonders in your academy? Because seeing that you're such a wonderful teacher and so enthusiastic, bubbling with ideas, innovative, scientific, and completely new ideas that you have in your mind. So how's the journey? How are the kids being benefited out of it? And what are the courses that you're offering? We just, our viewers would like to know about it.
Definitely. I'll be excited to share because for us at Kidspreneur, we believe no matter where the kids from, what is their age, what is their background, we believe that they have no power to change this world, no power to design and restructure the future for them, not for us, for them. So that is what we believe, and that is where we're structuring all our programs too. And right now we offer a Kidspreneur MBA, which is Kidspreneur My Business Adventure Program in association with the International Business School of Washington. So it is a 3-month course where kids experiment, learn all about entrepreneurship, experiment entrepreneurial mindset and skill set, identify the passion and interest, try to convert the passion into a startup idea. So most of the time with Kidspreneur MBA, 70% of the kids, I would say, want to become social entrepreneurs. They start their idea to create impact, because we have 2 entrepreneurial journey. One, a kid coming up with a product or service, making profit out of it. We have a kid who is coming up with an idea which can impact the society, and that is a social entrepreneurship venture. But I'm very happy and very proud to say 70% of the kids wants to become a social entrepreneur, and I'm sure the future is safe, right? So who wants to like help people, who wants to like solve problems of the world, who wants to like create a solution for something we are facing today, and which is going to be a big issue tomorrow. And that's how we have so many kids. For example, I can say one of the social entrepreneur venture done by 9-year-old Ishana, who's it is a very interesting story. So she makes soft toys. You can think, what is there in soft toys to make impact, right? What is there in soft toys? What she does is very, very interesting. She's just 9-year-old when she started, and she makes soft toys, and she goes to hospitals where this kids who is hospitalized for long term, like cancer affected and other prolonged disease cases, and give the soft toy to them as a companion. This is a very interesting story. What happened, like when she joined us, we were experimenting what to start, and she said, I want to help people, ma'am. My mom has much money, so I don't want to make money. I want to help people. Because kids don't know what is money is all about, how much or how big or small, because they want to help somebody. So I gave her 3 tasks to do. So go to an hospital, go to a to a orphanage, and go to a not getting that way. Okay. I gave them 3 tasks to go, and when she came back, she said, when I went to the hospital, I really felt scary. I said, like, okay, when you're scared, what do? I hug my soft toys, and that's how the idea came in. So that's how each idea just pops up, and that becomes beautiful. And so far, she has received about 3-4 awards as a Social Entrepreneur of the Year with South Indian Startup Awards, and from MSME, and from Global Entrepreneur Council Asia Pacific Business Awards. So she has been recognized as Social Entrepreneur of the Year. Yeah, so just 9-year-old, right? Okay. So like that, we have so many kids. We have very exciting stories. I can just add and go. Our future, what we wanted to see is tomorrow when I go or when I do something, when I'm using an app, it should be done by our student. The future should be designed by our student. When he says, ma'am, I did Kidspreneur, or like I just learned from Kidspreneur, because we also provide a lot of free programs for government school children. It is not only everywhere, it is paid programs. We also offer a lot of free programs for the kids. So that is something very exciting for us, and we are hopefully creating the future, and very, very happy about it. And we are excited to do this particular job. And I must really mention my team, who is with me on my mission and our vision, and we are together on this. And not only my team, I would say every parent who is with us in Kidspreneur, the parents of the Kidspreneur, because we are more like a family, right? Once the kid joins, the family becomes our family. We keeps adding. The parent also becomes
parents. As an educator, I do understand. Yeah.
So they take equal responsibility also, because when a kid starts a business, the mom becomes a personal assistant automatically to that CEO. So it has become, and it elevates the whole family itself. Every event they come, they'll be like, ma'am, I was thinking to start something for like 10-12 years. I never did it. When I see my son, my daughter doing, I now got that strength, and I wanted to start. There are so many parents who have started like that. After their kid become entrepreneur, they started their venture as well. So that is something we are very excited also. Like every moment we are able to. And there are few moments. The parent is working for very big brand as a brand manager, GM and all. Someday they'll be working on something. Our kids goes and explain them what it is, and they'll be calling me, ma'am, what magic you do. I've been like, one of the parent personally shared this information with me. She works for a big MNC. And her manager asked her to prepare business model canvas. So she was driving back home with her son, who is 7 years old, and they were going back home, and she was telling her husband that my boss has asked me to prepare business model canvas. I don't know what it is. Immediately, this kid started explaining her, this is very simple. I just did 2 weeks back, and these are the things you should. She is calling me immediately, telling me, ma'am, what did you do? He's explaining. I got
We need to start
goosebumps.
learning from the kids, yeah.
So this is what we do, and this is how we enjoy doing this.
Absolutely amazing, actually. Um, Mona, I do understand that, in fact, I have understood, and in fact, our viewers and audience all over the world have gotten to know the accolades and the appreciation and the good work that you're doing. But tell me about some challenges that you faced while working on this project, which is a dream project, which is a baby, which you're nurturing every single day, and you're dreaming big, and you're looking for a day when this will be the ultimate organization, and it will serve humanity. In fact, it's actually serving humanity. No?
Definitely. So I would also shared information about MBA. We also have Kidspreneur EDU, which is an entrepreneurship program for schools. Any schools who is interested in inculcating entrepreneurship in their campus, they can actually take this program and inculcate, and our trainers goes and delivers the program. And once the kids completes Kidspreneur MBA, they have Kidspreneur Pro, which is a complete financial literacy and teach them about investment, how the shares
Great.
works, and how should they give equity
Really
from the company. So that's how it has been designed. And recently we launched 2020 March, we launched Virtual Tech MBA in association with the International Business School of Washington and MIT. So this program is being need. So when we were teaching Kidspreneur MBA to the kids, need. Why? Because when we were teaching Kidspreneur MBA, most of the kids started coming up with technology-based startup ideas. So then we thought, okay, we'll give them an agency to develop their product, because we were experimenting. This is the kind of challenges we faced. So when we give the agency to help the kids to develop the idea, it is not working out the way the kids wanted, because their imagination is something the agency couldn't stand in the same line. And that's where we decided, why can't we equip them with the right tools to launch their own apps and websites and whatever they think. And that's where this Virtual Tech MBA program came in, where they learn app conceptualization, app building, UI and UX designing, and branding, logo designing, web development, everything in one single course. And it's a 3 months course again. And from March till August, we trained about 300 students on this. And yes, we have made 300 tech startups.
What's the challenge that you face, Mona? I understand that this brilliant achievement and you're really on the path of success, and you're really making a difference in the lives of the kids and their parents, and you're doing a great service to humanity. But any challenge that you can remember, I'm sure when we start on a path which we are convinced about and we have clarity about, but then we have to convince others about our vision and dream. So are there any challenges that you faced in the beginning, in the nascent stages, and that kind of held you back? And but then you made up your mind that no, I'm not going to hold back. I'm going to go on this treacherous journey. I'm going to make it big. I'm going to make it big for everybody.
So yes, I would say we faced a lot of challenges, but every challenge we see it as an opportunity. That's how Kidspreneur has grown to next level, right? So the biggest challenge, I would say, when kids come up with very interesting ideas, fueling the ideas is very, very important. Not every parent has money to invest on that idea, right? That was the biggest question mark we had when we launched Kidspreneur. And when the kids started coming up with great ideas, and we felt, okay, we started approaching entrepreneurs who can actually help kids, giving seed funding. We approached a lot of forums, but it didn't work. Then we thought, why can't we create a platform itself, right? So that's where KIDx Asia came in. So KIDx Asia, where we provide a platform for kids who's under 18 can share their business ideas to the entrepreneurs and investors from across the world and get investments, start their dream project to come to life. And that's the biggest challenge we faced, and we kind of used the challenge to an opportunity. And now KIDx Asia has been successfully running for 3 years. 2018 we had our grand finale in Thailand. We had entrepreneurs from across Asia and investors from across Asia addressed and helped our kids to start there, and kids have received about $30,000 as investments, and that was in 2018. 2019 we got entrepreneurs and investors from Middle East and North African region. The grand finale took place in Dubai. Again, our kids have banked big checks there. And this year, 2020, was very excited, and we were all excited and waiting for this 2020 grand finale to be set in France, in world's largest startup campus, that is Station F. And because of COVID, it couldn't happen, and we are waiting. And once things comes back to normal, yes,
but I'm sure we definitely going to come out stronger.
Definitely. Our kids are preparing like super strong. They are waiting for that date. As soon as we announce it, everybody is gonna fly and show.
We're going to be the best versions of ourselves.
Definitely.
And we definitely come out stronger out of this.
That was the biggest challenge, I would say, because when a kid comes up with a great idea, not able to fuel that idea because you need an investor there, and that's how we handled it.
So that's a long list of achievements and success stories. Kudos to you. Right. Now, Mona, I just wanted to add something over here. As life progresses and as we move on in life and we become mature, there are still a lot of things which we are oblivious about. We do not have the know-how. And with only the trial and error method, that we learn a lot of intricacies and the know-hows and the nuances of life. I'm talking about the financial management aspect and the money matters. I think the children who are being exposed to the financial management and the money management aspect that you're providing them and the entrepreneurial skills that you're providing them, it's a great initiative and it's really powerful. And the awareness of financial management, which includes stocks, derivatives, collectibles, then real estate, in managing your portfolio, and then even investment portfolio, choosing the right stocks in your investment portfolio, making a right trading plan, following the European markets, the Asian markets, Singapore market, and even Dow Jones. That's what people do who are in the active stock market. And of course, it's a part of the portfolio income. Because majority of us don't even know what the three type of incomes are.
Definitely.
Right? It's the earned income that most of us are stuck in. But there's two other type of incomes, that is the portfolio income and the passive income. And if this kind of knowledge which is imparted, it will really stand the kids in good stead. And how do you do this? Is it... according to me, it's really very important. The risk to, the risk ratio to the profit ratio and the managing of assets and selecting the stocks, the risk management part. This is a very, very significant part. Tell me, how are you doing it? What is your stake? Do you think entrepreneurial skills and the money management part, from your perspective, is it really very important? What's your take on this? I just shared my views with you.
Yes, we also address this. Yeah, we also address this in a very, very creative way, we can say, because with Kidspreneur, the kids when they come and when they learn, we also equip them to be healthy consumers of the future. Right? We teach them, when you buy something, think whether it's a need or want. Right? Differentiate between your want and the need. So when you when you have a clear differentiation between this, you become a better consumer. When you become a better consumer, you handle your money well. Right? When you handle your money well, you know where to invest, where to not invest, where to how to handle your whole money management. Right? And that's how we structure it. So our kids every day, actually every month, they do this activity like need and want. So I can give you a very interesting case study of one of my students, who has identified a similar problem in the market, and he said, "Ma'am, we used to do." He was 14 years when he started, and he said, "Ma'am, do you remember how much you spent last week? Do you remember, Deepika, like what you spent last week? How much you spent?"
Now I've become very adept and I definitely take care of my expenditures and the assets and the liabilities and the expenditures and the income. I've become very savvy about it, but I wasn't like this when I was a kid and the kids were learning in your academy. That's why I said that you learn it with trial and error.
So
And with
he identified that particular issue. We are earning a good salary, but nobody is satisfied with what they have. They everybody is like, no, this is not enough. I'm like going in negative direction. Like, what should I do? And this is where my student Kaushal Raj, who was 14 years old, came up with an app called MyLad, My Little Accountant. It is an app where you can record your day-to-day expenses. And it is available in Android store, and you can download and use it. You can record day-to-day expenses of yours, and you can also track your record, your expenses, and you can set goals for your savings, and you can set budgets for your expenditure. For example, this month you wanted to set 10,000 rupees for your grocery. You can set the budget. If you're exceeding, your app will give you a notification. Hey man, you're spending much more. Please keep a better look on it. Also, like me, you can have your savings goal set. For example, I wanted to save 10,000 rupees this month. If I set a goal, once I achieve, it shows me, hey, congratulations, that is the appreciation you wanted, right? You've done something good. So that, like, the inculcation we did stand out to be this, and he's already given the solution to the world. And now he's working on a next level of app where it's just going to help SMEs and startups to handle their business, money, and their invoices, vendor management, and everything. He's working on it, and he also in 2018 he got an investment of $6,000, and with that he is moved into the next level. And now he is in 12th grade. He is in 12th grade now. He is going to take entrepreneurship and finance as his full-time studies, and he is planning to bring more innovation to fintech, financial technology field, and he is so passionate, and I'm very proud to say he's my student. And that's where
the passion and grit that takes you, and the determination and clarity and conviction in life. So I'm really glad that you're inculcating these values in your students, and I'm sure they have a very, very bright future. That's really powerful. Now, Mona, I would like to add that you must have heard of Robert Kiyosaki's story, the famous story of the poor dad and the rich dad.
Yes.
And the poor dad has to say that to the child, Robert, that an employee and an entrepreneur, there's a significant stark difference. An employee just knows about the money. Rather, he doesn't even know about the money. The money part is taken care of by the organization or the government who's paying him or extending him the remuneration. All he knows is about the job that he's doing. Whereas an entrepreneur knows all the finer aspects and the nuances of money. That's the biggest difference. And in life, along with the subjects that we learn in school and the teachings in the school, I'm not admonishing that because I've always been a part of that community. But the schools, I think, are not providing the apt information, or should I be saying the education pertaining to the finance aspect, the financial education. And that's what Robert also says in his famous speech. And what is life? Life is about playing a game of Monopoly, isn't it?
Definitely.
What's your take?
I have a very interesting delivery for the question you put for the Robert story itself, because I'm also impacted by the story very much, and I wanted to have an answer in my startup, like in Kidspreneur, because that is what we do. When we say in Kidspreneur we teach entrepreneurship, we also teach intrapreneurship. Okay, intrapreneurship is something, it is a very new, it is not a very famous terminology, but it is a very important terminology and everybody should know about it. Intrapreneurship is something you as an employee in an organization acting like an entrepreneur. Inside an organization, you work like an entrepreneur, bringing and understanding the whole business scenario of the company and bring the best and deliver the best. And we inculcate intrapreneurship through our programs as well. So we don't force every kid to be entrepreneurs. Okay, we also equip them to be intrapreneurs. So it depends on the situation and the place they are in. they'll be able to perform with the same mindset and skill set, and we already have the solution in
How
place.
about the technicals and the fundamentals of the company and the let's talk about the stocks and the equity. Do you even equip them about the technicals and the fundamentals, which is
Yes,
so very important?
definitely. Yes, definitely. We do this through games. We have share market games, and every kid
Right.
release their share values every week, and they come to a table together and they do play the shares and which company they want to invest in, which company they want to take the no money back, and this game when starts, no, it goes so crazy. They continue playing for 6 hours, 7 hours, and I'll be like, can we finish it? I want to have lunch, and that's how it goes. And now, yes, our kids really wanted to play that game again, because virtually we couldn't do that. We're still figuring out a way to, like, bring this to a virtual platform. Soon we should be up with that, and then like a whole lot of kids from across the world can experience that whole sequence.
Right. So you've definitely set a type 3 goal for yourself, Mona. Not the type 1 or type 2. Definitely not. You had a vision and you had a dream, and definitely you had an idea about how to go about it, and the whole universe conspired and got it for you, and definitely with the intellect. But I would like to put it forward that imagination and creativity definitely plays
Definitely.
a very important part in
Because
this.
whenever I think of an idea, whenever I wanted to do something, I pursue it. The universe give to me.
Yes.
That comes to my hand. I'll be like, wow, it's a magic. I just thought of it, and it is coming to me. And
Yeah.
that's the feeling, and that's the experience that I
I'm
experienced.
a firm
And
believer of that. I'm a very firm believer of
so that happens, and that's what I'm also passing on to my students. When you want something, you pursue it, you will definitely get it, and that is all.
that.
That magic also continues. That, yes,
Not the
and
type
they
1
are
or type
going to,
2.
yes. So we are very happy about that.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So let me ask you another question, Mona. Do you think that the kids are being burdened? Is there any kind of burden? Though the way you put it across and the way I can absorb, and I'm sure the listeners and the viewers all around the world, we've got listeners and viewers from all over the world who watch and listen to the show, and they are from the various segments of the society. Some are parents, some are professionals, the older lot, the younger lot. So, what as a member of the audience, I'd like to know that is there some kind of burden that the children face managing and striking a balance between the, so to speak, conventional school teaching curriculum and the entrepreneurship program that you're offering? What are the failures that they encounter, and what is the support system that you offer them?
Okay, so this is a very important question we wanted to address, because initially even we felt the same. Like, is it going to be a burden for the kids? But when we started doing it, we experienced a powerful change. This particular journey, when they start, they become very responsible, because they're becoming a role model to other kids in their school. So they like taking it, and also whatever they learn in kidspreneur, the problem solving, the opportunity seeking, the failure redefining, everything becomes handy for them to handle the academics as well. So they're able to get through or pass through anything which comes in front of them, just like a cakewalk. This is
Right.
not a big thing. I'll be able to handle it, and that is something we're excited. Even with because of one student, we got that school signing up with us. Even that has happened. So you can clearly see how this is impacting. Even the parents also comes up and tells me, like, no, a kid who was very shy, very very moody, has opened up and become a role model, very famous. And in I have a lot of kids who who started as something, and in 1 year of time, they'll be like, wow. Even I look at and say, wow, you've gone something. And this is what we wanted, and we have so many case studies like that. And you can see all their profiles and updates about their because every kid has their own website, has their own Facebook pages. The updates, all the updates are going on. And one couple of my students does regular shows in TV, with their startups. So it is also happening. So there's a lot of things going around that. Also, when we say we should also start to teach our future generation to follow their dreams rather than preparing themselves for everything. Right? If we can identify this is my kid's passion at the early stage, fuel that as much as possible and keep your academics aside, because it is not only academics, right? So it has to be in a well balanced way, and identify your kids' interest and the passion, listen to their heart, and fuel that, and the kid is going to be super successful and super accomplished and satisfied. Rather than, I would say, being successful is not something you will enjoy, but being satisfied and accomplished is what will be forever. And because for our goal also not to prepare kids who are millionaires, our idea is to prepare happy children. Love what you do. Like whenever we tell a kid to come up with a startup idea, we ask them to identify this passion and interest and convert that into startup. We don't force them, oh, there's an opportunity here, go pick it up and build a startup there. Not like that. That they can do when they grow up, when they have the clear mindset, and this is where I wanted to go. That time, whatever they learned through this hobby journey or interest journey will comes handy to them, and they can experiment and they can become super successful in that. So we are just giving them all the tools and the basic, and we're building that basement very strong so that they can build a bigger building and tallest building in the world, and that we'll be looking at with the head up, and that's what we want.
Definitely. I can see that happening. I can definitely see that happening, and you're doing an absolutely incredible job. Winston Churchill once said that if everybody's thinking the same, nobody's thinking at all.
True.
This applies so much to the whole scenario, and the holistic education that you said that we should be imparting to the kids. It's not that the money is the true measure of success in life. It's happiness. It's inclusiveness and the holistic education that we need to impart to the kids, along with the financials, which are also very, very important part. Because they want to go out and face the world.
True.
And if they are equipped right from the beginning at this stage, nothing like it. It's a very great endeavor. Great. So, Sneha, how do the parents take this? What is their perception about the whole program? How supportive are they? Because they're very important stakeholders in this.
Definitely.
How they reacted to, rather they responded to, I'll put it this way.
They are 100% with us on the journey, throughout the journey. So I would not say they are outside our walls. They are also a pillar of Kidspreneur, because without them we can't do what we are doing, right? Every opportunity, every hurdles comes in front. When I call them and say there's an opportunity here, do you like to try for your kid? They'll be like immediately, yes, what I should do? Tell me, what should I do? And that's how it will be. And then I just put a word to them and I communicate directly to the kid only, because I don't want them to prepare the kid for the opportunity. The kid should prepare himself for the opportunity. He can ask help from others, but he should actually prepare. And for every opportunity comes in, we give them task. Whoever accomplishes the task gets the opportunity. It is not just given to them as it is. And that is what we have. And parents are definitely feeling proud, happy, accomplished, because whatever they couldn't do, their kid is able to do at this age, and they are supporting, encouraging, and traveling along in that journey. And that is something we feel we're accomplished as a family at Kidspreneur. And not only that, every summer, every holiday time, all our Kidspreneur together, we travel, we have barbecue parties, we have this, that. So we plan around, we have done a lot of initiative as a family together. We've done marathons, we've done kite festivals, we've done Saturday sunrise at the beach. We've done a lot of initiatives in order to keep our children happy, energetic. For example, if we feel the kids are not waking up early, that becomes one problem. Then we came up with this concept called Saturday sunrise. Every Saturday, kids wake up at 5 o'clock, come to the beach. we all together do yoga, we invited different people, yoga people, Zumba class, and people who can teach them fly kite, a lot of things. So we identify what is the problem, we solve the problem with a creative solution. So we work this way with the parents and Kidspreneur kids, and that's how the whole ecosystem is, and we are building this ecosystem. I think we are together in this.
Yeah, sometimes imagination definitely, overtakes intellect. Definitely does. And I'm so excited, and in fact, I'm encouraged and enamored to join the expeditions and the activities that you're undertaking. And I'm really encouraged. In fact, I want to be a part of it.
Definitely.
All right. Now, coming to something serious, Mona, uh, we're in the midst of a pandemic situation, and we're facing a lot of emotional, physiological turbulences and stresses. The lack, fear, scare mentality is, you know, getting absorbed in our minds, and the sleep patterns are changing, and there's a lot of depression which is creeping in all around the world. Why only this country? But like I mentioned earlier, also, we're definitely going to come stronger from this situation, and this situation is not going to be there for long, and we're going to come out much stronger as a human race. So, how has the situation, the present situation, which is quite serious one at the moment, how has it affected your organization and the kids preneurs and the entrepreneurs who are already in the making or who have already completed the course? And what's your view on the same? What's the kind of guidance that you're providing them in these testing times?
Right. Again, it's the same formula I follow. Convert your challenges into opportunities. All our kids tried digital transform their startup ideas and convert their passion or whatever they're doing into a digital format, and that went really well and really successful. Apart from this, I would say a very interesting thing our kids did during this COVID scenario, because all our classes become online, and the kids who have passed out, the alumni meet happens every monthly once. So all our alumni comes online. It used to be physical event, now it becomes an online event. So every month we invite an entrepreneur, they talk and they interact, they see the possibilities for the startup. And this during this pandemic, the same meetings happen. The kids have come up with very creative concepts. So they said, ma'am, we are at home 4 months, it's been, we never gone out, and our physical health is becoming spoiled, and can we create a solution? They use design thinking, and they come up with an online fitness program, and we invited a fitness trainer, and we taught online, and that happened. Apart from this, our kids also writing a book called COVID-19 through the lens of kidspreneurs. So about 15 kids co-authored this book. Everybody shared 5 pages in that book, and everybody writing their experience in COVID-19. How did they celebrate their birthday? How did they turn their opportunities? And how did coming to your bedroom to your car parking become their summer holiday? So it is a very interesting book. We are launching in 2 weeks, and that is
right.
it is a book, the experience book of them. And the reason they told me to write this book was, this kind of pandemics happens 100-year once, and we are witnessing this pandemic. We wanted to put this and register this for the future to read. And even after a couple of years, when we read this book, it will be fun, because most of the kids celebrated birthday virtually for the first time. A lot of very interesting things happen. So this book has been, and I think our kids are not seeing any kind of challenges as a hurdle. They see it and they enjoy it thoroughly. Whatever the challenge comes in front of them, they enjoy it thoroughly, and they just take it so easy. They're not like us. They just take it very easily, and they make it so interesting. And I was enjoying throughout this lockdown period and the COVID scenarios. And even couple of our kids' families have got COVID positive also. Same time, other kids started supporting them, talking to them regularly, telling them this is going to be nothing, making it so easy for the other kid to come out of it. And it all happened. A lot of things went gone these days, and a lot of bonding has happened, and we're very happy about it. The kids are the change maker. Kids are the future, and we truly seeing all of it happening in front of our eyes.
Certainly,
And
certainly. This reminds me of so many projects that I did with the students of A levels and IBDP and CBC curriculum students, the project based learning and the creative activities that we used to get involved in, the drama, theater. This is apart from the academic part that I'm talking about. Now, of course, I'm into my independent workshops and like I already mentioned about the soft skills training part. But I do remember those times, and the students are still in touch with me, and engaging them in the pursuit of creativity, where we can even learn a lot from these little ones. How to cope with stresses and how to cope with the fervor and fever and the fret and fury of life. I think they are very good teachers. And they can be very good teachers to the older ones and the grown up ones. And in fact, we can also imbibe a lot.
definitely.
That's really amazing. What's your future strategy, Mona? What do you think is the strategy of Kidspreneur and the roadmap that you have in your mind and the ultimate dream that you have in your mind? Tell us a little
So
about that.
right now, Kidspreneur is offering different programs, and also we, like as I mentioned to you earlier, we've developed 153 modules for the future, and in which only about 5 in operations now. So we still got about 148 modules left for the future. And whenever the need arises, we'll be launching. The next launch of our program is going to be architecture. So we are bringing our KIDtecture program, where kids will be equipped and learning about urban planning, designing their future. So when they know all this, we are equipping them for the better tomorrow. And it is with a big organization's tie-up, and we are launching it next month beginning. And so we wanted to develop and equip them with all 365 degrees of tools and the understanding of this world, for them to have a very easy and simple, very accomplished life. And that is what we are heading towards. And ultimate goals of Kidspreneur will be equipping every kid from across the world, from the corners of the world, to have this entrepreneurial mindset inculcated, not for them to become an entrepreneur, for them to become who they are, and experiment what they have and accomplish their life. And that is what our ultimate goal is, and we are heading towards achieving that.
Wonderful. That's great. That's really powerful. Absolutely fantastic. And one final message that you would like to give to the parents and the kids who are aspiring to be entrepreneurs?
Okay, that would be give them space, give them freedom to experiment, believe in their ideas, believe, and give them that space to experiment and see what they believe in. Whenever a kid comes and tell you something, don't tell them it doesn't work. Give them the space to experiment and see whether it is working or not. So the practical experience is what gives them the ultimate inner experience. It is not just listening or reading somewhere. When you experience it, you know what it is. So give them that space to experiment the ideas. Listen to them. Listen to their ideas. Keep your heart and your ears open when they comes, and don't just say no, it doesn't work. Don't say like that.
Be receptive. Don't admonish them.
Yes. No, keep your two arms open when they wanted to share something. Receive it, and then share your views. And that is what
They can be very great teachers too. And
yes,
let's be receptive. And learning can come from any front, no?
definitely.
Yeah. So one final question towards the end of the program, as we are approaching towards the end of the show. I'd like to ask you about the international exposure. You're doing an excellent job, Mona. and the kids, the kind of exposure to the facets of financial management, money management, and the different aspects that we have discussed about after they graduate or once they have completed their program with you. The Asian markets, the European markets, and the Middle East, and so on and so forth. The list is endless. These are the greener pastures which the kids would definitely be aiming for. So, how do you facilitate that?
So that is the facilitation of our KIDx Asia. KIDx Asia takes them to each and every market, and whenever we have a KIDx Asia, it's more like a 5 days event. So where our kids are doing their pitch on one day, the next day they meet entrepreneurs from that country and they interact. They visit a couple of businesses. They also do some market research, and like very interesting thing we did in Thailand was like we gave them 200 Thai bahts each, and we asked them to $100 each, that converted into Thai, and they bought something, they kind of sold it back and made profit out of it. They worked in teams. So we asked them to experiment. So for example, 2018, all our kids have learned about Asian market. 2019, it was in Dubai. As I said, Middle East and North African market has been completely learned with so many experts we met in Dubai, because Dubai was very interesting, because we got invitation from Dubai's Prime Minister office, where under Dubai Prime Minister office only this entrepreneur cell operates, and that is where our kids have got invitation from, where our kids who has received invest from 2018 as went and shared in Dubai to whole lot of students from UAE, sharing their experience. How did they crack their first investment? That was a very proud moment for us, because kids from India going to MENA region that has been invited by the Prime Minister's office, sharing the information of their experience for their first investment experience to the whole lot of students in UAE was a great experience and exposure for them. And in 2020 is what we wanted to teach them and show them the European market. That's where we organized it in France. Like as per I mentioned earlier, the COVID has changed the whole thing. We are still holding on to it, and we will be scheduling it as soon as the things are back to normal and it is safe for the kids to travel. Then we will be definitely doing that.
Things and come back to normalcy
definitely. Apart from this, we also partnered with Founder Institute from Silicon Valley, who is going to be mentoring all our students. So our access to the kids to the Silicon Valley is like really bridged now. So our kids can easily interact and get mentored and pitch their ideas to the Silicon Valley investors. So that is also done. A very recent accomplishment was with Apple, and our kids are going to be mentored by Apple experts for their tech startups, and that is something very exciting, which is ready. And this is the first announcement about this, and there's so much more to come. So each and every kid is going to get a individual mentorship for their startup ideas, and how to a lot of tools also from Apple iOS platform. So that is an exciting opportunity, and this is how we give them an international exposure about learning about the markets and expertise.
That's really fantastic. And what more can one ask for this at this nascent age and such young age, getting exposure of the world market, meeting the who's who in the world? This is the best that can be offered to the kids to make them the world leaders of tomorrow. So I'd like to share a message with all the viewers, listeners across the world, that we are going through a pandemic situation, and a lot of fear, lack, and scarcity mindset has set in all of us, and there are a lot of stresses and strains that we are dealing with. But let's stay resilient and let's stay determined and strong. I'm sure there's no battle which has wounded us enough that we wouldn't get up and fight back again. Do you agree to that, Mona?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, and we'll definitely come out much, much stronger.
Definitely, more stronger.
Life has definitely changed. It's really changed for all of us. It's not going to be the same what it was before the COVID time, but it's going to be better. Definitely better. Work-wise, as well as the personal life-wise. Both the aspects will be definitely better. than what they were. So with this, we culminate to the 48th edition of TLR Shows. Watch out for the 50th show. We've got a lot of surprises lined up for you. Please don't miss it out. And follow TLR now at LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube for latest updates and for more such shows streamlined. Mona, I wish you all the very best for your future endeavors. It was a pleasure having you here on the show and interacting with you and exchanging notes on the students and your endeavors and the lovely plans that you have. I really hope and wish and pray that you reach the helms of your affairs and you reach great heights. And a very big thank you to all the audiences, the viewers and the listeners all around the world who've been attached to this platform. And stay safe, be blessed, look after yourself, and have faith. Things are definitely going to change, and they're going to change for better. So have a great day. Thank you so much, Mona.
Thank you so much for this wonderful show and being a wonderful host. And I wish great success and great wishes for TLR show as well to the whole team. Thank you so much. And let's meet with a bigger successes.
Definitely. So that we can exchange notes and we can definitely, have even greater depth of conversation. Sure. So take care, stay blessed, be strong.